Welcome to the Bill Cartwright Show featuring Steve Cohen. My special guest today, Nevada's own USF Dons, Mr. Marvin DeLoatch. Marvin, great to have you on the show.
Great. But by the way, Bill, I go by Marvin DeLoatch Jr. now, by the way.
Yeah. Does that make you younger if you're a junior?
No, I just had to give props to my pops, you know what I'm saying? Because he got mad at me every time I said my name is Marvin DeLoatch. He said, I'm Marvin DeLoatch. You're Marvin DeLoatch Jr., you know? So after he passed away, I started going by Marvin DeLoatch Jr., you know what I'm saying? So it's all props to him, man.
Yeah, you do have to kind of pay homage to
the senior one, yes.
Oh, you do. You really do. Now, you are from Nevada, and apparently you are a legend there.
Marin County's all-time leading scorer, by the way. Don't forget about that. Marin County all-time leading scorer. Got to add that in. Yes, all these years, nobody has beat that record just yet, okay? And they won't either.
Why not? Why won't they beat it?
Well, first of all, now it's 4 years in high school instead of 3 years. I went to 3 years. I did it 3 years instead of 4 years. And now I did it 4 years. So it won't be done now. I have to do it in 4 years now instead of 3. That's one reason. And if they don't have anybody else shoot as much as I did anyway. So that's another thing.
It's probably like Pete Maravich, right? At LSU, where would you analogize it to that?
Exactly. Pete Records, oh man, he's one of my favorite too, by the way. I'm glad you mentioned his name. Yeah, Marin County, that's right.
Now, when you were in Nevada, you had some great teams there, didn't you?
Good, sure did. Great teams there, you know.
Now, who's the coach there?
He was Ed Anello was the coach at the time. Yeah, I believe he went to USF too, by the way, I believe. Yeah, him and Bill Ayers, they were longtime USF guys.
Now, you were the ultimate, and I don't want to emphasize that too much, is that you were the ultimate athlete when you were in school. Slam dunk champ, I assume.
But yes, but I could have some hops on me, boy, I tell you. I have everything right now, but I can shoot, I can run a little bit, I can just play a little, but I just can't jump anymore. Of course, man, you just can't jump anymore. That's the first thing to go to the legs, they say.
Well, it didn't go too fast because you're over 60 now. And let me ask you this, because I never knew. How did you end up going to USF? Because certainly you had other offers.
Yes, your coach, our coach, Bob Gaylord, actually lived 15 minutes from my house. I lived at Hamilton Air Force Base, and he lived right down the street. And so, it was very convenient for him to do some recruiting, you know what I'm saying? Bob Gaylord right down the street from me. So my goodness, he should stop on my house on the way home. Very convenient for him, man. I say, well, I saved you a lot of money, didn't I? On travel expenses for sure. That's for sure.
So what were some of the other schools you were thinking about?
Bill, Michigan State was my second to last choice, man. Oh, that's my, I visited them place, with Magic Johnson down there, and I couldn't believe they won it 2 years later after I signed with USF. I could not believe that, man. So Michigan State was my last choice. I was gonna go there instead of, but I didn't like the cold. I didn't want to be too far from home. I was a mama's boy, man. So yeah, I just started to stay across the bay, stay at USF. But I got very close to going to Michigan State.
So after you get to USF, what were your first impressions?
Wow. Because I used to watch you guys, man. I was amazed with you guys, man. You and Winfrey Boyens. I was like an athlete in awe with you guys, man. Goodness gracious. My goodness, Boyens and Hardy, Jeez, I even helped Winfrey Boyens move into his dorm room. I was so happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? My goodness, I remember I saw you at TOC, man, with Gene Ransom. Goodness gracious, man. And I couldn't believe I ended up playing with you, man, a few years later. It was an amazing dream. It came true. And you guys ranked number 1 to 2. You guys, the number 1 school in the country was recruiting me. I felt honored to be the number 1 recruit. Actually, Bart was the number 1 recruit too, but we both were very honored, man, to be recruited by you guys as being number 1 in the nation, man. It was a wild experience, boy, I tell you.
Talk about, now, we had the fortunate to have Bart Bowers on. He talked about his first practice. Talk about your first practice at USF.
That first practice, baby, just being involved with you guys, being on the same, wearing that uniform, man. My practice guys just going to layup lines, man. It was an amazing experience, like I said. And just wow, just watching you, Boynes and Hardy I just want to get dunked on, get it out the way, just get that feeling of being dunked on out the way. Just I couldn't wait to get dunked on. Just so I've been dunked on by one of you guys, man. So we laughed about that for a long time, me and Bart, man. Goodness.
Do you remember your first game at USF?
Yes, I remember we played against San Francisco State, my first game at USF. And I did okay. I did very well. Yeah, but yeah, I remember I had that big fro too. Everybody was just talking about my hair all the time. Everybody kept trying to get me to cut my hair. It's funny, I'm going to one extreme to the other.
Yeah,
that first game against San Francisco State was amazing. Yeah, I do remember that first game.
Because you were pretty skinny. Did you feel like you were ready for college basketball? You felt like physically you were ready?
Yeah, because I use my my speed and my jumping ability to my strength, and I be able to work around that. Yeah, I sure did. So it's funny. I didn't get into working out until after I got out of college. After I started playing basketball, it's funny. I didn't take advantage of that while I was in college. I was talking about son about that the other day. Actually, because he's working out hard on the weights right now at 16. So he's doing what I should have done. Yep.
I'll talk about playing basketball at USF and going to class. What was that like for you?
Oh my goodness, I was a clown in class. Of course, that's
Surprise.
The teachers had fun with me, boy. I tell you. Yeah, man. I say I go to USF to play basketball, and I go to class to sit down. I don't like sit. Of course, I didn't like. Only thing I didn't like about going to USF is sitting down. I like sitting on the bench. That's the only thing I didn't like about But because I was just anxious, I was ready to play. I just tell Bart, man, I didn't come here to sit. I came here to play. If I want to sit down, go to class. So I used to sit all the time to Bart, man. He used to crack up at me all the time. But yes, but school was cool at USF though, man. We had to go to class for sure.
USF is such a diverse school.
It sure was.
And I really enjoyed being there, just talking to different people from different countries.
Parts of the world, exactly.
Yeah. Did you have that same experience?
Sure did, man. I got along well with the soccer guys on the team. They were from Africa, man, just from Uganda, man. Those places really good, man. I was amazed to meet those guys, and just these guys from different culture, So I remember just, first time taking a shower in the dorm rooms, these guys walking around in towels, man. That was kind of freaked me out, though. You remember those guys walking around in towels in their hair? I'm like, where the hell are these people from? Jeez, I could understand that part, That's kind of freaky. For experience just coming from Nevada High, from Marin County, sheltered life. Wow.
Now talk about, because it was my senior year, but talk about our head coach, Bob Gator, leaves. Actually, my senior year, which was interesting. And now we have a new head coach, Dan Bawalami. What did you feel about when that happened?
Well, at first I thought I didn't like it, because Gaylor was the one who recruited me, and I was his boy, I wasn't Bawalami's guy, and Bawalami wanted to pay his guys instead of more, Gaylor's guys, so that kind of hurt me, and so to speak. But your last year, actually, my sophomore year was my best year at USF. I played almost every game. I had, my best game was the game when I got in a fight with Kurt Rambis.
Hey, Marvin, talk about your senior year.
Now, you remember after we had that problem with with Quentin Daly?
Yes.
I didn't have a senior year. I had to transfer school. And I ended up going to Riverside.
You were a junior.
Yes, I had to transfer to go to USF. We had a problem with it. I had to transfer to USF. So I left USF and went to Riverside for a while. So we had a problem there. So that's when I began to, a different destiny there.
So talk about that.
Because we was being investigated by the NCAA. And so I felt that coming there. So I believe me and Dave and Guy Williams, we all left USF at that time, And that was a nightmare experience. I didn't want to leave at all, but it was a tough experience. So I went up going to Riverside and then to play down there for 2 years. And didn't really work out down there. And I'm meeting one of the tallest guys in the world, George Bell, 7'7", and became pretty good friends with him, and still good friends with him to this day.
So talk about that. Were you upset? Did you understand?
I didn't understand what was going on, so it was a different experience. I didn't really want to leave, like I said, and Riverside was actually a different nightmare, really, because me and the coach kind of butted heads down there as well. Just like, I pretty much could have handled it differently too, because I did kind of have a kind of a hot head and attitude, thought I was, all world, but and I could have handled it much better, be more mature about it.
I should say that, you were noted as, for one thing, being a very athletic player, great guy. But also you were at USF, you were our team barber.
Oh my goodness. I had a lot of talents and skills, but yeah, I like my sister's actually a beautician. She has her own shop to this day here in Fairfield. Yeah, but yes, I used to cut everybody's hair on the team, get you guys ready for the games all the time, man. That was a lot of fun too. But you guys, the only thing about it, you guys never paid me, man. You guys owe me some money, man.
Well, I tell you what's funny is that everybody had that DeLoatch cut. It was kind of on a slant. So it was kind of everybody knew when you got the same, everybody kind of had the same cut.
I know, but you and Bart's head was kind of the longest heads on the team, so it kind of took me longer to cut y'all hairs, man. Yeah, it's funny, man. Yeah, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun too, man. Right for the games to get line you guys up. That's for sure.
So tell me, what lessons did you learn while you were at USF that helped you after you left school?
Man, patience, man. Understand that life, man. You just can't have it your way. You just got to understand that I help people. I love helping people now. I'm a manager. I've been in management for the last 25 years in customer service industry. It helped me out, but USF where it started, dealing with people of all races, of all colors and everything, all genders and everything. So I'm a people person. I love people. And that's where it started, that's where it started, USF. Being around different people. And I love being in front of people, love talking to people, man. I really love being around people.
Well, you're a people person if you love being around Bill too.
Yeah, man. He's an infectious personality, sure.
Thank you, Steve. That's really good.
He's like the Pied Piper, man. He's the Pied Piper, for sure.
Hey, Marvin, talk about, so when you're leaving school, what are you thinking right now?
What am I going to do? Well, what am I going to do now, And that's when I didn't know. That's when I think I went to budget rent a car. And I went back to work because, matter of fact, USF got me a job at budget rent a car during the summer. We used to get summer jobs there. And then we used to go there, after I left school, I went back to budget rent a car, asked for a job, and they ended up making me a manager. And then making me a manager, that's when I got to the business field. And the funny thing about it, I used to hire the USF players when I was a manager at BMW, at budget rent a car, for their summer jobs too, just like I got started. So I kept giving back to the university, even though I left there, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool. I love that, being involved with that, And Bobby Duran was part of that, by the way. He made that happen.
So after that ended, what did you do after that? What was your next job?
After I said I started, like I said, there was budget rent a car, not BMW, it was budget rent a car. That's where I became a manager, and I used to hire players. And then I became I left budget rent a car. I ended up working at BMW for the last 15 years. I ended up working there for a while. That's when I got into comedy, when I was at BMW. I was director of customer relations at BMW, by the way, in San Francisco here. And I started getting into comedy as well. And I started taking the comedy classes in Sacramento. Every Tuesday night, I used to drive from BMW San Francisco. I used to drive to Sacramento and do shows in Sacramento every Tuesday night.
Hey, talk about that. Talk about your comedy, and why did you decide? Why did you believe you were any good?
Because I had a friend, good friend, Del Van Dyke, the godfather of comedy, in Sacramento. He's been a headliner for the last almost 20 years here. He's been involved with everybody, the great people there. And he was teaching comedy school in Sacramento at the time. And he kept telling me, man, Marvin, come on, you got to do comedy. Just try it. And I ended up going to class, and next thing you know, I entered a comedy contest, the Sacramento Gold Rush Comedy Contest. Out of 45 comics, I ended up winning the damn thing. I could not believe it. And I said, wow, that gave me the confidence, like, oh my goodness. It's nothing like being on front of the stage by yourself and making people you don't even know laugh. is amazing, and it's a feeling you can't describe, man. It's a drug to me. And so I ended up winning that contest, and it was on from there.
Could you talk about what are some of the differences between comedy and basketball, and just the high you get as a player versus a comedian?
Well, think about it. You don't get to share with anybody else when you're up there by yourself. It's just by yourself, so you got to be selfish. But, the basketball team is a team sport, and you get to experience it with everything, all your teammates and everything. You got all the highlights and all the disappointments. So if you bomb by yourself on stage, which I rarely do, but I've done it before, like sometimes you just don't go your way on stage. And oh my God, your head starts sweating. You don't know what to do, man. It's like, just get me out of here, man. But, all the great ones do it too, but you just don't go right on the court, and you just got to take it. You just got to take it and deal with it, try to get work your way out of it.
Do you have your own style of comedy, or
I do. I love talking about everything, kids, sports, life, myself. I make fun of myself more than anybody, of course, Yeah. Like how I miss my hair. I still keep my shampoo in my closet, all that kind of stuff, just still, all these little things that I talk about still,
Yeah, don't worry. Steve does the same thing.
Exactly. I still use shampoo.
Steve, I think Steve, you're in denial, man. Why you should just shave it off, man.
I know I should actually. You're right.
Man. You have a good head for it, man. You be smooth, man. You know what I'm saying?
I should.
Just try it.
You're not the first person who told me that.
Yeah. That's okay. You're just all right. Hang on as long as you want, man.
Fine. You're right. I remember Joe Torre called his haircut like the Watergate. He was trying to cover up as much as possible, So, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So lucky to have such golden locks,
Oh yeah, but I don't know how he managed to keep his hair like that, man. I don't know. My goodness. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Less stress than you and I had.
I tell you,
genetics. Mm-hmm. But maybe I think it's curious. Like most comedians want to be likable, right? And so is that part of it? Like, how would you characterize your community, your comedy? You're self-deprecating. You turn a lot of humor onto yourself. You're not mean-spirited, right?
Yeah, it's not mean-spirited at all. Definitely, like I said, I don't know why. Just always time you want to be. I don't want to be in front of the crowd all the time. But I'm saying, even sometimes when I'm not on, I just want to be just there for people. That's all. Just there for people, because I'm like, you have to believe in God, man. I tell you, make it happen. And you get back to God, God get back to you. So give my strength to God for sure.
Bill mentioned that even when you were playing, you had the makings of the class comedian, and in addition to being the barber, Bill, you saw that in him then? Did you think like, wow, this is a funny guy on a team? And I imagine most teams need that, right? They need a diversity of personalities to do well. Like some people who are comedic, some people who are serious, right?
Well, we had a couple of guys who were naturally funny, along with Marvin.
Doug Jemison, exactly.
Doug's very funny. And then, Marvin, do you remember this? Now, these guys, now what you think about this, spoke, what was that? Like Jamaican or something for like a month with like a Jamaican or some kind of accent. And I couldn't believe it was just going on and on and on. Do you remember that?
What was this again? The Southeastern guy, you say?
Different guys on our team that were speaking different, this Jamaican kind of accent.
On our team?
Yes.
Who?
For like a month. I guess you don't remember that.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they were just playing around. But they were just playing around. I don't think it was a real accent, though. They were just messing around.
Yeah.
It was like Guy and Kenny. Wasn't they just being funny?
Yeah, but it kind of went on for about 2-3 weeks.
Okay, I do remember that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a silly world. Oh, my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
I love a joke, but let it go.
Let it go. We went too far with that one, yeah.
Hey, Marvin, talk about because you do comedy shows up until this pandemic hit.
Yeah, man.
Who were some of the guys that you had on? I remember one time we went down, Jimmy Walker was there. Who are some of the other people you've had on that are terrific?
Well, from Marin County, man, the person I opened up for one time was Robin Williams, man. I'll tell you, because he used to be at the Throckmorton Theater.
Wow.
I worked with him. Yes, exactly. Yes. At the same, I got to share the stage with Robin Williams a couple times, man. That's when I had one of my best shows, and I opened up for him, man. Yeah. and also Dana Carvey was there too as well. You know, so this is a great comedy that Throckmorton does. You know, but then Dale and I opened up our own spot over there in Nevada. Yeah, so we had some great comics there, man. My goodness, great headliners. Mark Curry is one of the people we worked with before.
Talk about some of the differences between because I never saw Robin Williams in person, but talk about that being at a performance with him.
Yeah, man, that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate. Matter of fact, that's probably the best performance I've ever seen live. It was his performance. That's why I think I rate him as number one. I think after what I've seen before, you know, because he was just impulsive. You know, I remember he was talking about my brothers and everything like that, man. So yeah, he was an amazing guy, man. He did about a good 35 minutes, 45 minute set, nonstop, energetic, all over the place, man. One of the best of all time, man. I tell you, just in awe, just like watching Michael Jordan live, you know, something like that, you know, just like you probably felt when you watch Michael Jordan. That's how I felt watching Robert Williams live.
Well, I felt, you know, with Michael, like pass the ball every now and then. Did you feel that way?
Well, yeah, I sure, but you deserve it too, Will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pass me that ball. That's how I felt when I played with you. What are you talking about, dude?
Exactly.
Matter of fact, it was my assist. I think when you broke Bill Russell's all-time scoring record, you never thanked me for that. You know that? Matter of fact, it was my assist when you broke the all-time scoring record, WCAC scoring record, man. They stopped the game, gave you the ball, something like that. But it was my assist, and I passed it to you. I don't think you remember that, do you? I remember that all this day.
I don't remember that.
Of course, you just remember scoring. Yeah, of course you don't remember the ball. I don't remember that. Of course you didn't remember. I didn't expect you to.
Well, it's kind of like Adam Sandler has a joke, I'm sure you've heard it, where he says, hey, my impression of the huddle, the game Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. Hey, Wilt, I'm open.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah,
Right.
that's for sure, man.
Hey, Marvin, how did you feel being inducted into the Marin Athletic Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, I'm glad you mentioned it because for a long time, they ignored me. And I don't know why. They just, you know, all these people kept getting inducted, all these for 40 years instead of me. And I don't know what did I do to these people in Marin County for them not to just be bypassing me all this time, you know? And it kept hurting me. I was disappointed, man. I'm like, wow. And then people started writing letters and petitions and stuff like that about it, you know. And it took about 3 or 4 years for them to finally realize, hey, what's going on here, you know? So I believe you got a big story about it. And I talked to one guy on the phone who was involved with the county. He said, Marv, we thought you were in there already, pretty much. We overlooked it pretty much. And so when they had to file an induction Hall of Fame speech, you know, I roasted them for it in a nice, pleasant way. And it's probably one of my favorite all-time performances. You know, very funny. And I'm kind of glad it ended up that way because if it wasn't for them ignoring me for 40 years, I wouldn't have came out with that great performance. So it's funny how things worked out, you know. So I asked God, how should I handle this? God said, handle it with humor. You know, do what you do best. And so, that Hall of Fame speech was my favorite. I almost listen to all the time for inspiration.
Hey, Marvin, being back here at USF, I have an opportunity to mentor a lot of students, athletes. What would you say to those students here at USF as their journey is going along here at school?
Enjoy each day, man. Make the best out of each day. While you're there, go to class and play hard and enjoy it because it's not going to last forever, man. I'll tell you, and it goes by faster than you think.
It really does, because we talk about this all the time, that our time at USF was probably one of the best time of our lives.
It's the best time of our lives, man. I tell you, and like I said, with friendship lasts to this day, as you can see, man. I tell you, that's another amazing thing too. You know, we only see these guys 3 or 4 years out of your life, and all of a sudden you're your best friends forever. That's amazing, man.
Right. So who were some of the teammates that I know a couple of them, but who were some of the teammates that you talk to even today that you went to at USF?
Oh, I'll talk to everybody pretty much. I love, a lot of everybody, you and Doug, Guy, Guy Williams, and Bart, of course. You know, we still
Bart,
tight.
of course, you guys are
Yes,
tight
you
at the
know.
hip.
You know, now I've reconnected with your boy Billy Reed. Now all of a sudden, you know, it's a mysterious thing.
Billy Reed, isn't he a
Billy
sheriff
Reed,
or something?
I don't know what
or...
he says he's involved in the FBI, but I still haven't seen proof of it yet. So, you know. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to confirm that, man. You know, so you know. Well, so yeah, and Rogue Harris, you know, so he's around here too, you know. Yes, you know, and also Bart said he connected with Dave Cornelius not too long ago. He found a phone number from him that he's around too. That's a blast from the past. Dave Cornelius.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Dave's had an interesting
He's
life.
so happy, from what I hear. Yeah.
Oh boy,
Man.
Hey Marvin, how's your family?
Man, family's cool, man. I'm very proud of my son, man. He's getting, like I said, he's getting about 6'3" now. He's working out, you know, so it's, you know, it's gonna be good. I can't wait to see him play, but I'm kind of hard right now because it's this pandemic, you know. He hasn't played basketball yet for a while, so I'm concerned about that because he needs to get back on the court so he can prove himself, so he can get recruited. So yeah, but the kids are doing fine. Other than that, they're doing class at home, so you know, just getting tired. They want to go to school.
Yeah, it is a very tough time right now.
Yes.
But Marvin, thank you so much for being on. I really,
Man,
really
thank you,
enjoyed
man.
it. I
Thank you for
can't wait until the comedy starts again because I really
Me
enjoy
either.
those shows.
Yeah, we got some stuff happening in the future, man. Got stuff coming out once we get, you know, ready, rock and roll again with this pandemic's over with for sure. We got some fun things happening.
Yeah, make sure I get an invite.
Of course.
I don't want the first row seat, but I want the second row seat.
There you go. Well, you're gonna be in the front row from the second row, you know, as tall as you are, so you know, hey, wherever you at, you're gonna be in the front row.
I wouldn't want to be in the third row if he's in the second
Where you
row.
are. Bring Steve there for sure, man.
Yeah, please. Thanks a lot, Marvin. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you. Now talking to you, man. You guys have been great.
Thanks
Again.
All right. God bless.